I'm sitting here with Mike and Ndubuisi from Attentive. We just concluded open house. It was a phenomenal day, eye-opening for even somebody that works at ClickHouse. Some of the initiatives that I saw today, actually interesting, I know were conversations that we've had almost like a year, probably a year and a half ago when we started working with Attentive. Before we get into those, though, do you mind explaining or telling a little bit about what Attentive does and what your role at Attentive is?
Yeah, so I'm a senior engineer at Attentive. We're an SMS marketing company. So we power all kinds of marketing use cases for our clients. And our clients have these audiences of subscribers that they want to be able to send marketing messages to, but they want to be able to target specific groups within the audience. So they want to basically find users that have certain traits, certain attributes. And so we have a segmentation platform that powers all of that. Essentially, what we do is we let marketers search for users that say have like certain events in their history. So maybe they've purchased a certain product, maybe their favorite color is blue. There's a bunch of different data points that like we support searching on, and to do that, we are scanning tons of event data, attribute data, and so this is now being powered by ClickHouse as we migrate data into it. So.
What were you using prior to ClickHouse for this?
It was a mix of technologies. Some of this event data lived in Snowflake, some of it still does. We're still kind of mid-migration, but some of it lived in DynamoDB, various RDS databases. It was a little bit scattered all over the place, but we're kind of consolidating and migrating it all to ClickHouse.
And I know we've spoken prior, and I think you guys have spoken at some of the events that we've done on the East Coast, where headquarters is. I know you're not on the East Coast, but out of curiosity, like what type of performance boost did you see from bringing ClickHouse into the stack, comparative to like what you were on before?
Yeah, so I think one particular use case that we saw a very big improvement for is custom attributes. So this is like data that our clients are sending us through our public API. They want us to ingest it and then to be able to segment on it at some point later. That was one of our most query intensive use cases, and we finished the migration for that piece of data last November, and we saw it on average about a 60% boost to query performance. So yeah, it was very nice, much better UX for our customers, and yeah, I think overall that's been, we've been happy with the performance that we've been seeing as we migrate data to ClickHouse.
That's phenomenal. Did it unlock new use cases for you guys that maybe you weren't able to do prior to moving to ClickHouse, or?
I think the biggest thing is it enables larger clients to be able to use this feature. One of the issues we had in the past is that for larger clients, they have so many attributes that sometimes their queries would actually just time out, and we couldn't complete the queries within our SLA. So now, they can actually use this feature, and this unlocks basically them to be able to preview, like for example, when they're going to send a message, they can actually see the estimated count of people that would get that message, because that's a query that would previously sometimes time out for these larger clients.
Let's kick over to open house. So again, we just concluded open house. We had some phenomenal sessions. It's been absolutely a long day. We started at 9 a.m. and it's now 5:15 PST, right?
It's full day.
It's a full day, and jam packed with like content and features and sort of like what's next for ClickHouse. Like, what was your takeaway from the event, because it is our inaugural event, but also what was your favorite feature that came out of it? And I think I know what it is, and I'm hoping that it's still the one that's stuck from probably a year and a half ago. But
yeah, things I'm very excited about are the iceberg integration, which I think is probably what
that's the
you're
one,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, the improvements to iceberg. I think that's kind of gonna enable some of the use cases we had talked about way back then about like having a hot and cold storage layer. I think that's something we could potentially try with the updates to the iceberg connector. Some of the join performance improvements those are very appealing to us, because we do join not a ton of tables, but like enough that it's a meaningful part of our query latency. The thing I was actually interested in that I wasn't expecting to be excited about were some of the AI agent like insights. I didn't think that would be particularly relevant for us, but I think it could be just something to like do some data-driven analysis about like what are customers actually doing, like because there's been use cases in the past where we need to understand like user behavior in a way that like we want to understand like what are the most common types of events and most common like use cases that people are searching on, and that could be something that like I don't know, we play around with and get some of those answers. So
Interesting. All right, so you didn't think AI would be the fascinating thing because it's kind of like the shiny new toy right now, in my opinion, right? But it's like how what you do with it, and I think being closest to the data is obviously pretty fascinating, especially like when you talk about like user segmentation use cases, and where like even putting this in the hands of these companies that you work with, everybody from like the SMB to the enterprise, and allowing folks in marketing to make data-driven decisions without having to go to the data engineering and data science team, and like things like that you guys can enable potentially for those folks. So
sort of thinking of it as an angle from the angle of like maybe even enabling more just like platform optimizations. Like for example, if we know that most of our purchase events are coming in with like I don't know, like without a sub product ID or without like a SKU, and like we see like what are some of the sparse columns, and like sort of understanding what the data looks like at across companies at the scale that we're operating at. I think that could be interesting to help us maybe make some optimization decisions.
we'll have to dive into that when we get back into the office.
Yeah.
So, Mike, thank you for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love working with you guys. I'm looking forward to see what you guys do with this.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.